This morning on KLMJ, we'd like to welcome back our friend Eric Lee Beddingfield. Eric, how you doing?
Good morning, Mike. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. It's great to talk to you again. And I guess the first thing I have to say is, wow, what a year it's been for you.
Man, you're right, buddy. It's been a neat ride. You know, a lot of doors have opened up that I've been in Nashville, you know, working hard toward, and they finally kind of starting to come to a head. We're seeing the light of day on some of it, and of course a lot of that had to do with my good buddy George Jones coming in and helping me open up a lot of doors that I couldn't do completely by myself.
Definitely, Eric, with the song, of course, everybody knows, The Gospel According to Jones. I know you've told this story before, and I'm sure you're not tired of telling it about how this song all came about.
Man, I tell you, it's one of those, you know, it's one of those stories I don't get sick of telling, because to me, from the get-go, this song's felt like it's really had a purpose and a plan for me. You know, even before the ink dried when we wrote it, it just had kind of a little magic aspect to it, and the way George got on it was really just a chance meeting. I call it chance, but it may have been the plan from the big man upstairs all along. But we were in a steakhouse here south of Nashville, and my manager and producer and I were meeting and talking about how to get this song to George, to let him hear it. You know, never did I expect him to sing on it. And lo and behold, at that lunch meeting, we get up to leave, and guess who's sitting a couple booths over from us? It's George and Nancy there having lunch also. So it just some really neat things that come from that, man, besides him coming on the song and singing on it, to appearing in the video we had for it. Yeah, another big dream of mine was to play the Grand Ole Opry, and who better to be the one to make the phone call to make that happen other than George, too.
Well, that's fantastic. And like I said, a lot of doors have been opened, and you've met a lot of people that I'm sure you didn't even expect you to be meeting at this time in your career.
Man, you're right. You're right. And the real cool thing about that is, you know, and everybody knows what a good group of folks, for the most part, that country music has involved and throughout the business, from artists to the people that make the wheels turn. But you know, you get to meet these folks, whether it's at a show that you're doing with them or backstage, and you get to realize why they got to that level. Most of it's just very deserving and just good people all the way around that, you know, go out of their way to make you feel comfortable too. And it's really just reinstated to me just what a special business country music is.
Well, Eric, and no better way for you to get back to George than being part of this Opry Live that's coming up tonight. I want you to talk about this. It's pretty much a birthday celebration for George, but it also brings the Opry back to TV again.
It is, man. There's so many things about it that are a big deal, you know. First and foremost, just celebrating George's birthday and being able to be there for that was a real honor, since he called me and asked me to do it. And on top of that, you know, making my Grand Ole Opry debut for and you know this, being in the business, but being a country singer, you know, playing the Opry's like making it to the Super Bowl if you're play football. So that was always just something on my bucket list and something I dreamed of doing. Have all that come together at the same time. It's been just a real special moment.
And along with you, of course, folks like Alan Jackson will be on it, Leanne Womack, Joe Diffie, and Oak Ridge Boys, and so many more. And I'm sure it was really cool.
It was, you know, and that was me being the new guy, not knowing what to expect there at the Opry. I wasn't sure if, you know, because that is such a who's who. You know, every name you just mentioned there, not only are they big stars, but they're Opry members already. So it's kind of second nature to them getting on that stage and playing. But for me, making my first time, I wasn't sure if some of them may be looking down their nose wondering, you know, what's this guy doing here? But I couldn't be more wrong, man. Those people were so gracious and went so far out of their way to make me feel right at home and to make me feel that they were excited, too, to be there while I was making my debut. So that was just icing on the cake, and it really, you know, calmed the nerves down and made it a lot easier to get out there and perform.
Well, if people want to see this, it's on tonight on GAC, and starting tonight at 7 o'clock Central Time. And we invite everybody to check that out and check to see you on stage. That'll be cool.
Man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to all y'all's listeners to tune in and check out that show. It's something I was really proud to be part of, and a night I'll never forget. In fact, I'm looking forward to seeing it myself. It'll, you know, when you get caught up in the moment, it all goes by so fast that it's kind of a blur. So I'll kind of be experiencing it for the first time again, too, watching it on GAC.
And Eric, before we let you go, we can't forget about your song that's doing really well on the charts for you called Great Depression. And why don't you quickly talk about how that song came about?
Great Depression was actually the first song that I wrote for this new project, and it's ironic now that we're sitting here talking about it doing good things for me, because at the time I wrote it, it was a time in my life where I just lost a record deal. My wife and I just had our first baby, and I felt like things were really going good. We were flying high, and then I got a phone call that the record label was closing down, and that basically just we got the rug pulled out from under us there overnight. So it went from flying high to a crash and burn, and that's kind of where my mindset was and where I was at in my life when I wrote this song. And it's good now to be talking about the good things that it's doing for us, because it has. It's my quickest rising single to date, and doing really well, and I really appreciate all the stations out there that are playing as much as they are.
And Eric, people want to know more about you. You do have a website they can check out?
They do. They can go to elbrocks.com, which is my website, and of course Facebook. We love it when people get on there and get to interact with new fans and hear what they're thinking. And of course, from the website there, anybody if they're interested in going and buying or download my music, they can do that, as well as check out the video right there.
It's been a great year for you, and we followed your career, of course, through the beginning, and it's great to see all these good things happening to you, Eric.
Well, Mike, you have, man. You've been there from the get-go, and you and your station's done so many good things for me. And, all of this stuff isn't just by coincidence. It's because of guys like y'all that took a chance on me as a new artist and brand me to their listeners, and that's opened up a lot of doors, so I really do appreciate that.
Well, Eric, we'll catch you tonight on Opry Live. How's that sound?
All right, buddy. Sounds like a plan to me.
Eric Lee Beddingfield right here on KLMJ.